Jeff Nippard just lost all credibility. I've been saying this.
Be sure to write in the comments, do you believe that they just cheated the test? Did Jeff pay off the doctor? Explain it for me.
Fake natty.
How did they all pass with
Fake natty.
no advance notice? Your guess is as good as mine. Coach Greg, and finally the video you've been waiting for. Jeff Nippard got a bunch of fake natties and put them to the test.
That's right.
To look like you're on steroids, and so the answer to that is you take steroids. It's as simple as that. How do you look like steroids but yet pass the drug test? Well, the answer is also simple.
A simple blood test is not enough to tell you that you're a fake natty. Do you know how many athletes pass blood tests all the time? And we play this game as if they're honest people, not taking every single advantage at any given point in time to secure millions of dollars. Are we just going to trust random strangers on the internet who don't have our best intentions in mind?
You take steroids and then you cycle off. But what if you were tested without any prior knowledge, no advance notice, and you're at your all-time best? Would you believe it then? And so essentially I read through the thousands of comments, and almost everyone believes that the likes of Julian, Hussein Farhad, the rest of them, that they're lying. That the fact...
Especially when there was just a thumbs up and a smile instead of actually showing the paperwork being handed to them and displayed on camera. Yeah, I mean, nobody in the comments buys their bullshit.
The fact that they have more muscle than most normal people proves they're fake natties. That if you don't pass the eyeball test, that it's impossible that you're actually natural.
It's not just the eyeball test. It's years in the gym knowing what's attainably naturally. It's putting in the hard work and recognizing that it's excruciating and there's only so much muscle you can build as a natural person. They train like fucking idiots and are pussies.
And so my audience, they know me best. Waiting for Greg to make a 30-minute video on this, 5,500 likes.
So working out perfectly but not having results equals bad genetics. And working out like shit but looking amazing in this arbitrary bodybuilding world is good genetics. Make it make sense. No. Think about that. So they achieve this super physiological hypertrophic response by training like morons. Amazing genetics. Versus everyone else training correctly for years on end. Horrible genetics. I'm tired of being gaslit.
And of course, the regular favorite, Greg Doucette, gonna have a field day with this one.
That's why I'm secretly bringing in a medical doctor who's gonna blood test every single person later in the video.
Remember, guys, this is Jeff Nippard.
It doesn't even really make sense if you think about it. Hussein Farhat maxed out his genetics in 3 years. Or can he get even better in 10 years if he's only been lifting?
He's not going to be paid off by these guys. I don't think that Julian or Hussein paid off Jeff and said, you know, fudge the result.
Can we take a moment to look at this for a second? Elite genetics. That was posted by Hussein himself on Instagram.
Fake it. I mean, Hussein already has passed 2 separate blood work tests with me looking at the results, and y'all said, oh, but he's part of the company. And so you're just lying for him. Do you think Jeff lied to help me to prove that Hussein was natural? Or do you think he just passed on his own?
On the right is the definitely natty zone. On the left side is the questionable zone.
This Jeff Nippard video didn't even address the people on the right. It was solely focused on astroturfing these 4 guys.
Most people thought these guys were probably...
Yo, I can't. This is hilarious. Holy shit.
taking something.
Here's the thing. All of these guys could be on steroids and all of them could be natural. Just because you don't look very good and you have no muscle doesn't mean that you're actually natural. And to the same extent, just because you have a lot of muscle doesn't prove that you're a fake natty. And so what does prove it? Blood work. A drug test. If you fail a drug test...
That's not true, because there's natural bodybuilding competitions. And those are fucking jokes. I can't take the rage bait.
If you fail blood work, well, that proves that you're a fake natty. And so until that event happens, it's hard to just say, oh, he's a fake natty.
Well, I owe a lot of my deltoid development to solid science-based training principles.
I mean, positions 2 through 10 in the Olympic 100-meter race all got popped for roids. Lance Armstrong passed hundreds of blood tests.
I probably owe more of it to my mom. Like, just look at her shoulders right now at 60 years old. Lifetime natty.
She was a bodybuilder, as far as I know. And Jeff Nippard is 5'1", so she must be 4'8".
A lot of people think that Jeff is a fake natty. I've done videos on him in the past, and I do believe that he's 100% natural. And when you look at him compared
I don't.
to his mom, who's 60 and looks as good as this, do you not see it's very much genetic?
If you're chasing that naturally enhanced look, building a wide set of delts is absolutely crucial. And the real key is the side delts.
The key to looking like a fake natty when you're actually natural is to have very good looking muscles in a tank top. And so, which muscles are those?
Well, Julian has non-existent shoulders, or maybe they're there, but they just get dwarfed by his 22-inch Popeye arms.
Upper chest, traps, shoulders, and arms. Those are the show muscles. If you look...
We all know how androgenic old women are. Just look at Dana Lynn Bailey. Yeah, dude, completely natural.
Enhanced in those areas, well, many people are going to think that you're a fake natty. Take Hussein Farhat, an extremely small waist, which makes his upper body look even bigger. But when you compare his upper body to his legs, they pale in comparison. He's 5'11" and 185 pounds. Does that really seem impossible? Jeff Nippard, who's...
It's not about body composition. It's because these are actual soy boys. I walk around over 200. Minimum.
5'4"3/4, only weighs 155 pounds. Yet people think he's a fake natty.
Look at the UFC. You have people in the 125, 135, 145 pound weight class that are shredded to the gills with obvious signs of PED abuse. Weight has nothing to do with it.
And if you compare Jeff's physique when he first started his diet at 185 pounds at 20% body fat to his physique right now after losing 30 pounds, 10% body fat, he looks way more enhanced now despite the fact that he has a little bit less muscle. One of the key components to looking like a fake natty is you have to be lean. If you have fat covering the layer of muscle, you can't see the vascularity, you're going to look a lot less suspicious than if you have veins and muscles striated everywhere.
A lot of people pointed out that everyone in the questionable zone had bigger traps than everyone else. And science does suggest that having massive traps can be an
Androgen receptors.
indicator that you're on some special supplements.
And so the truth is, despite what you may think, whether you have more androgen receptors in
People with dad bods have popped in the UFC. That's what I mean, dude.
your traps and so on, you can't just decide if somebody's on steroid based on specific muscle groups. When I first began to use steroids, the muscles that grew up the most was my quads and my back. No one talks about those muscles, yet for me, that's what improved the most. I mean, I'm on...
This guy. Popped. Does this guy look like a steroid user? Released from UFC after second doping violation. Look at this guy. What do you think, guys? Poverty genetics or elite genetics? Posing naked on stage is gay and very sus. As naturals or enhanced doesn't matter. That's right. This guy looks naturally enhanced, dude. Yeah. GSP, totally natty. Totally natty, by the way. Alistair Overeem, completely natural, bro. These guys are all natural. They would never take steroids. It's not just about the eye test. I'm tired of that cope. I'm not trusting broccoli heads on Instagram.
Testosterone right now, HRT, and I took steroids for over 10 years. Do my traps look overdeveloped? But what's more impressive, my legs or my traps? Look at the traps. Let's do this there. Versus, what about the quads?
Your legs are like
What about that?
Why am I watching this? I'm just staring at another man's crotch.
Which one's better? I think that the big meaty traps that look fake there almost.
Yeah.
It's not a good look. I don't think traps is a particularly sexual muscle. Like, if you're trying to look hot to attract...
It is if you're into muscle ogres like Mike Israetel.
Woman, this is not the muscle I think you need to work on. I would say the chest and the shoulders and the arms is the most important. And to...
It's not 2013 anymore. You don't think these guys hop off drugs right when they blow up online since they know they will be demanded to give blood within the coming months? They are ready in advance. Yeah, it's much easier to maintain muscle than it is to build it. Plus, you got SARMs, selective androgen receptor modulators. You have designer stacks. Dude, coaches, okay, bodybuilding coaches are drug dealers. Let's not pretend that they're anything else, okay? Sure, they probably give tips and advice, but mainly it's just dialing in that stack, at least on the professional level.
Slim down the waist. You want to have some form of a six-pack.
In my personal opinion, this next thing is the biggest factor that's actually fully within your control, and it's simply being lean.
Look how much better Jeff looks at 10% body fat than at 20. It's night and day difference. I don't think many people are thinking Jeff at 20% body fat is a fake natty, but now that he's at 10%, I think the accusations would double. All he did was go on a diet. He went on a cut. He used Macro Factor. He actually owns this app, and if you use code Jeff, you can get it for 2 weeks. And I strongly suggest you track your calories. If you track your calories and you eat in a deficit...
I'm being sold to from every angle, dude. There's Turk in my shopping cart. There's Macro Factor on my phone. Holy shit. One of my close friends told me he stopped taking creatine and protein powder. He's like, dude, I thought it was making me bigger, but turns out I'm off of it, and I literally think it did nothing. And I was like, damn. Welcome to the light.
You're going to lose weight. You know what else you can do? GLP Max. It's going to reduce your appetite, reduce your cravings, make it much easier to stick to your diet. And that diet, I'm sure it's the Circle Diet from Cookbook 3.
Is creatine a lie? Some people say that creatine does nothing for you. Other people glaze it like it's literally the nectar of the gods. Dude, you're not on creatine? Oh, you're just a pussy, dude. Dude, it made me so much stronger. I just look so much fuller, dude. Dude, creatine is neuroprotective, dude. It actually makes you smarter. You're not on creatine, bro?
3.1. Code Greg 15% off.
This is what I look like just standing in my kitchen under normal lighting with no posing. All I did was run downstairs.
Dude, I'm not trying to suppress my appetite as a man. What am I, a woman?
My posing room, hit a most muscular pose, and switch to a Sony a7S III camera.
And so what Jeff doesn't show is on the way down the stairs, he took Turk Platinum. And that is the difference. Night and
I just respect the hustle at this point.
day, I'm kidding. He just went downstairs and had better lighting. And so you see how much difference lighting can make. Jeff could literally have said, hey, I put on 10 pounds of muscle and I did it in only 10 weeks. All he did is take a photo before and after, and it's clear he looks so much better with the proper lighting.
Let's talk about Julian. This guy's caught the internet by storm.
We shouldn't talk about him.
With the majority of people saying there's simply no way he's natural, especially when you consider he just turned 19 years old.
And so with Julian, I got in trouble, Larry Wheels got in trouble simply for backing him up. And so what did I do?
Larry Wheels does not believe this kid. It doesn't take a neuroscientist to read the room. Larry Wheels is pissed off that he got hustled by this fake natty.
Above and beyond, I wrote him and said, hey, can you get your blood work taken right now? And if it's natural, I'm going to defend you. And what do you think happened? Well, it showed he was natty, but yet the people, they still don't believe it.
But he's looking like prime Arnold with his arms. It's just...
Oh, he just cycled off. He took this, he took that. I went over in detail explaining why that is not what happened. He's then surprise tested yet again. Now, the key point is surprise. Yes, I agree. If he had advanced warning, he could have stopped taking what he was taking in order to have time to cycle off and pass the test.
Dude, I don't know what rhinoceros steroids this kid is on, but it's obviously something profound.
But he didn't, yet he still passed. And so I think the
Gear recognize gear.
the comments are simply ridiculous. When you have the proof that he passed the test and you still don't believe him, what more do you want him to do? And so, are you cursed if you have 1 in a million genetics? Are you cursed? Because if you have the best genetics in the world and you train hard, you're going to have an amazing physique. Way better than the 1 in 100s, the 1 in 10s, the 1 of 1s. This is the problem with society. They don't want to think that there are exceptions. And Jeff...
Greg would say you've never drank if you pass a breathalyzer. It's just a snapshot in time. You have no prior blood work to bounce it off of, to cross-reference. It's intellectually dishonest to say that blood work equals natty.
explains it well.
Just like there's a huge range in height potential, there's also a huge range in muscle growth potential.
Dude, imagine if he took gear. Dude, imagine Julian on gear. Holy shit. Dude, let's get those arms to 30 inches. Shut the fuck up, dude.
If we see someone who's 7 feet tall, we don't immediately
Brutal height mog.
think they're taking growth hormone.
There's exceptions in height.
No, but I do think that there's probably a fucking pituitary problem.
This guy is 7 feet tall. He doesn't take growth hormone to increase his height. He just naturally is tall. Same as a high IQ. IQ 170. Does that mean they cheated on the test to get 100 every time? Or is it maybe possible they're just smarter than you?
This is the bar graph of everyone's level.
I don't know. I have a conspiracy theory that all NBA players are on growth hormone. And their parents put them on it when they're teenagers, hoping to get them into the league before their growth plates closed. That may sound schizophrenic, but it actually checks out. The injuries in the NBA are super high. It's because their tendons can't keep up with their bone structure and their muscles. If you look at a normal distribution chart, right, the amount of 7-footers walking around is so preposterously small, and then it selects for athletic ability. I mean, what are we talking about here? NBA's got to be one of the juiciest sports out there.
They ranged from 415 to 689, except for one person.
Way too many NBA players have fucking boulder shoulders, okay? And I know that's not just from the jump shots. I know I'm onto something.
Subject number 6.
And so I know what you're thinking all right now. They're all in the normal reference range except for that one
Michael Jordan has had HGH as a teen. Is that true?
individual. And you're thinking, yeah, but they could have been on HRT. Yeah, it's possible. But if they were on HRT, that
Being tall means basketball-sized shoulders. Yeah, some of these NBA players look like they can overhead press 315. Basketball players also work out like pussies. So the reason why you probably say that, and this is some deep athletic training philosophy, is as far as I'm aware, you don't want to backload. I know that sounds crazy. A lot of basketball players, meaning like you don't want to do heavy squats, you don't want to do deadlifts because you don't want to compress the spine. You want to maximize the elasticity and the Golgi tendons of those athletes, which is why their workouts look so weird. It's just a glass of milk a day.
would suppress LH and FSH. Those numbers would be very, very low. And so because they aren't low, it shows they're not taking testosterone exogenously. Now,
Exogenously. How am I supposed to trust you with blood work if you can't even say the word right? God!
they did a full blood work test. Jeff did not have the time to go over every single blood marker. SHBG, AST, ALT, all of it. Normal, guys. And so you can't simply say, oh, they just cheated the test. And so unless you think Jeff is lying, that he paid off the doctor, gave them someone else's blood work, there is no other explanation. Sometimes the simplest explanation is the actual explanation. And in fact, most of the time, that's what it is. They're natural.
That's not the simplest explanation. He's just 22-inch arms as a 19-year-old. He's a fucking broccoli head influencer.
They have great genetics, and they train hard. Remember, if you want to get your blood work taken to get various supplements and so on, I strongly recommend you go to AlgoRx. Qualified doctors can go over your blood.
How many ads are in this video, dude? Holy shit.
Work, tell you exactly what you need. And so if you're interested, click the link in the description.
LH and FS.
Is that an ad? Am I being sold to?
H levels were all normal for everyone. And to be clear, I definitely do think Spencer is natty.
And so you can hate them all you like, but I'm going with the science. Jeff is a science-based lifter, and I'm a science-based natty or not poster. And I'm telling you, they're natural. Be sure to write in the comments, do you believe that
This has to be rage bait.
they just cheated the test? Did they have a fake cock or something while giving their blood work? Did they somehow get their identical
I still can't forget they said can't wait for the pose down. That's sick work.
twin to go in and do the test for him? Did Jeff pay off the doctor? Explain it for me. How did they all pass with no advance notice? Your guess is as good as mine. And so if you want to look like a fake natty, here's the fake natty starter pack. Well, first of all, we all know you got to get Turk Platinum. If you get this, you're getting a head start on your gains. Next, you got to get lean. Get to perhaps 12% body fat and or less, and you're going to look even bigger than you actually.
You got to insert 4 to 7 ads in your videos, Phil. Let's get you that Toyota Supra and Wave Runner. So true. The fake natty to video sales funnel pipeline.
Are. Third, get a proper tan. With a proper tan, it's going to show the definition. You're going to be able to see the muscle detail that much more. And also,
Quick pop down to the pose room. That's mint. Post it.
you're going to want to take Cialis. Now, I know it's perhaps not legal wherever you are, but if
Greg Doucette is telling you to take boner medication to look like a fake natty.
it is legal, I'm just telling you, you're still considered natural. You can take Cialis and be natty. It's not banned by WADA. And what that does is increases blood flow in your veins. And 4, it's
End to my dick.
Most important to train the muscles that you can see in a tank top, the shoulders, the arms, the upper chest, and your traps. If you work on those muscles and you have a proper 10, you have low body fat levels, and you're on Cialis, well, that's the recipe for being a fake natty. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Please like the video if you liked it. Don't forget to watch.
All the boner meds went to his neck looking cranked and dick-pilled. Yeah, I just want to walk around half-cocked at all time. Just fucking pitching a tent perpetually.
One of those tube loops, and if you look like
Dude, Cialis is natty, bro.
fake natty and you're interested in being in Harder Than Last Time sponsored athlete or ambassador, please click the link in the description and apply. If you pass the blood work, well, you're going to be a next co-owner of HCLT supplements. And until next time, I am out.
That's borderline unwatchable.